Welcome back, everyone. I am Bubbles BuzzerBeater, and this is the unofficial official BuzzerBeater YouTube channel, back again with another video. And quick shout out this week to Nathan McPherson, who actually suggested that I do this video. But without further ado, in under 7 minutes, here are all the basics about training in BuzzerBeater and developing players. So, some key things to remember when picking out who to train and how to train them. Height, age, and listed position have no impact on in-game performance. However, height and age do dictate how quickly players train. For example, shorter players train faster at outside defense, and taller players train faster at rebounding, among other things. Along with this, 18-year-olds train substantially faster than 23-year-olds. The players shown below are a good example of players whose listed positions don't match how they should be trained going forward. The center on the left, although listed as a center due to his height, 6'5", should be trained as more of a small forward type of player, rather than a center. And the listed PG on the right, although has solid guard skills right now, is too tall to be trained as a point guard going down the line and should be trained as more of a power forward or center. The last thing I need to mention is that just because you are training, for example, inside scoring for center, doesn't mean your centers on your roster automatically get trained. They must still play 48 plus minutes at center during the week to receive 100% of training. So for team training, players don't actually need full 48 minutes to get training on free throws, stamina, or game shape. With that being said, I don't recommend team training very much because there is now the training court feature to help free throws, and game shape can be kept at a high level by simply having good minutes per week. The exceptions would be if and when you want to train game shape for the playoffs, or if one of your trainees gets hurt and you still want to get them training on something, then stamina might be a good option since stamina will periodically drop every season or two. The most effective training in BuzzerBeater is single position training. And single position training is available for most training, but it is important to train them at the position listed above for the best results. For example, pressure training at point guard is more effective than pressure training at shooting guard. As you can see, shooting guard only gives 90% of the training that the same player would get if they were at point guard. And it is also more effective than pressure training for two positions such as guards, point guard, and shooting guard. Same goes for all other trainings. Also note that trainings that do not have single position training available should still only be trained at the two positions, never more than that. So now I want to go into each training type that is available on BuzzerBeater and explain what the skills are actually being trained for the listed training. So this will be the more simplified version of what gets trained and how much it gets trained, but there are more exact training speed guides on the BuzzerBeater forums if that's something that you're interested in. So the first one is pressure for point guard, and it primarily trains outside defense, but it also trains a medium amount of inside defense and a small amount of handling and driving. And shot blocking center primarily trains shot blocking, but it also trains a medium amount of inside defense and a small amount of rebounding. And then inside defense primarily trains inside defense, but it also trains a medium amount of shot blocking and a small amount of inside shot. And then inside scoring, same thing. You have the primary training, but it also trains a small amount of inside defense and a small amount of jump shot. And then outside shooting primarily trains jump range, but it also trains a medium amount of jump shot, a small amount of handling, and a small amount of driving. And then ball handling also trains a medium amount of driving and a small amount of outside defense. And then passing also trains a small amount of handling and a small amount of driving along with the passing. And then for two position trainings, rebounding, power forward, and center primarily trains rebounding, but it also gets a small amount of inside defense and a small amount of inside shot. And then jump shot and 1v1 both have more options, but they're pretty similar, just a couple differences. So for jump shot guards, wingmen, and forwards all primarily train jump shot, but guards will give a medium amount of jump range and a small amount of handling and driving, whereas jump shot wingmen will train a small amount of jump range, handling, driving, and inside shot. And then forwards will add a medium amount of jump range and a medium amount of inside shot, but not the handling and driving. And then 1v1, very similar. For 1v1 guards, it'll also train a medium amount of handling and a medium amount of jump shot along with the driving. And then for forwards, it'll train a medium amount of handling and then a small amount of jump shot, but also a small amount of inside shot. So you can view your weekly training minutes under the weekly stats tab, and you can see who has 100% training minutes. So if you see green, that means that they're at 48 plus minutes and they're good to go. If they're at red, it means that they have some training but aren't at the 100% training minutes yet. So players should get between 50 and 70 minutes per week to stay in high game shape, but players only require 48 minutes to get to full training for the week. So a good way to get 48 minutes is to simply play your trainee at starter, backup, and reserve in one of your league games every week, and they will receive full training. And then the last thing is that trainers and youth trainers can be purchased by going to your staff section and clicking on the Find Replacement. And this will bring you to the transfer list specifically for trainers and other staff members. I recommend that you get a level 4 trainer and a level 4 youth trainer if you have 18-19 year olds. And then gyms and training courts are also additional features that can help assist you with training later on, but they're not part of what I would consider the basic training package. So that was a lot of info in a short amount of time, but I think it's very valuable information to new users to help build a foundation of effective training. Thanks to all of you that have made it through this whole video. I'll be making a lot more of these shorter video guides in the future. But that's all for now, guys. Please like and subscribe, and have a good one.